you know, the front of it on the right. Jeez. It's all held by the hair.
Hello, America and curling fans from Canada and Newfoundland. This is your host, Ryan Olson, bringing you the latest action from the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, presented by DoubleTakeout.com. This matchup of men's pool play features Team Pomeroy from Oval Curling Club of Utah taking on Team Horsman from Coyotes Curling Club, the host club. They've been gracious hosts so far, and I expect it to continue throughout this fine weekend we have set for you all here in Tempe, Arizona. They have thrown the last rock to see who has the hammer to start the game. I'll update the graphic as soon as I know. So the men's tournament started Wednesday and will conclude Saturday evening. The women's event started today and will conclude Sunday. So we have a lot of curling action in store. We have quadruple headers today, Friday, and Saturday, plus a double header on Sunday. So please stick around. We'll bring you as much action as we can.
Yeah, I know. I think the last time I went by it was Turkey.
Kelly.
So, Skip Ken Pomeroy of the Oval Curling Club has his broom down, so that means Horsman has the hammer to start things off.
Okay, well, Kelly? She doesn't know who has him.
Brandon Malik is in the hat, ready to kick out. And we are underway here with draw number 4. I'm losing count. I've been here all morning and I've already forgotten how to count. So this looks like it might be going a little deep. As it does slip into the reins, and that means Daryl Horsman can just go to town on it. Go ham, as the kids say. I don't think kids say that. And that's the lead for Team Horsman. That would be Tyler Caldwell. Throwing a nice gentle weight takeout there to bump the red through the rings. The shooter is going to roll to the edge of the 12-foot. And so that looks like it's game on as Pomeroy has the broom down again for Brandon's second shot. Again, throwing some takeout weights. Looks pretty good. Trevor Dersh is sweeping it. It's over-curling a little bit, and it makes enough contact to get both stones out of play. So this is an 8-end game. All games are 8 ends, or up to 8 ends. Teams can choose to resign if they feel the situation's out of hand. Also, the games are timed. You can see the clock behind the players there. Basically, the clock starts as soon as it's their turn, and the clock stops as soon as the shot is underway. And so they have 30 minutes to complete 8 ends of their shots. If they run out of time, they lose. All right, so with wide open house. Horsman chose to draw in.
I am 32.
And it looks like Pomeroy's asking seconds Trevor Durst to take it out. Looks like it's going to be pretty close. It's over curling, unfortunately. Going to go through the house, out of play. Some of the other games on the ice, we have a mixture of men's and women's games this draw. On sheet 1, we have Team Siggins taking on Team Cameron. On sheet 2, that's a men's game. On sheet B, pardon me, we have a women's game of Team Peterson. No, it's a men's game. It's a men's game. Team Peterson taking on Team Barajas. Sheet C, again, is our feature sheet. Pomeroy versus Horsman. And the only female game, or the only women's game on the ice is Team Aubrey taking on Team Grow. So the second effort to put a stone in the rings for Team Horsman was a little deep, went through the house, out of play. So now Pomeroy is going to ask Trevor to try that takeout again. Maybe just a smidge more eyes for Trevor. Looks like it might be closer. This one looks wide, but it's probably going to hit it on the outside, and they're going to roll both shots out of the way. So when you have the hammer, and that means like throwing the last rocks, you want to hopefully score more than 1 point. Right now, this end does not look like it's going to shape up to be a multiple point end, so a blank is in the offing for Team Horsman. This is the shot coming now from Matthew Merkel. And I think they're just going to draw in, just kind of see if something happens, otherwise go for the blank. I mean, that's great advice for relationships too. It's like dating. Just throw stuff in, see if it sticks, otherwise go for the blank. And we have a rock in the back, 8 foot. So the vice for Team Pomeroy is being set in the hat. It's Dave Hurst. Looks like there's a lot of focus on the ice, which is not uncommon early in the game, just to try and get a feel for the ice, get a feel for how the team dynamic is. But it looks like they're making their shots, and now we have another wide open house. And again, Daryl Horsman just kind of points to the left side of the house for his vice. That'd be Skylar Lusar. Looking to be on the outer edge of the house there. And again, just trying to make it hard for Pomeroy to take the stone out. Different path. Could lead to a miss, and it could allow Horsman to generate 2 or more points. This is going to be short. And so now, what does Ken want to do for Pomeroy? He wants to draw around. So let's see what the draw weight's going to be.
I was like, hey, I know that face.
Because I have a stopwatch.
Yeah.
So looking, I'm sure, for like just around T weight there. Got about 13.6.
I didn't know where. No, I knew. I didn't.
13.6 seconds.
I didn't know where you were.
So I think the ice is maybe running a little slow for this club. If we were at the Oval where I curl, it'd be great ice. And there's a lot of different qualities in the ice that make it good or not. And like speed is one of them. And this is, I'm sure, very playable ice. But just kind of keep that 13.6 in mind as the game develops. The ice is probably going to speed up a little bit, and then it might slow down as the pebble wears down. As Skyler's second shot comes down, hits the Hearst red out of play, and we're back to an open sheet with a guard.
It's in a beautiful area. I mean, if you enjoy rundown RVs, lining the streets.
So Brandon holds the broom for Ken Pomeroy as Ken makes his way down the ice. Again, looking for that draw again, and based on where he has the broom, they're looking for about 4 feet of curl. And the people who are new to curling, the line that Brandon has the broom down is called the T line, and you can kind of use that as a ruler, so you can see the different rings and stuff. So the rings are different widths, and so you can use the widths of the rings to kind of judge how much the stone is moving across the ice as it travels down the sheets. So this is Ken's first here, without hammer, in the first. So again, looking for a draw. Again, kind of looking for that, I think, 13.6 time. And I timed it from hog line to hog line. This looks like it's coming up a little light as both sweepers jump on it. It's pretty good, though, and I think the line is the most important part. It's going to slip a little deep. And so it allows Horsman to basically draw down on top of it. And that's where he has the broom down, as Skyler has the broom down for his skip. In the next set, I'm definitely going to kind of recap some of the experience of these players, because they have a lot of experience in a good way, as Daryl's first shot goes down the ice. Looking to draw and sit in front of that Pomeroy red that is in the back of the house. The weight looks a little up. Sweepers are trying to coax it over, hopefully to make some contact with that red. It's going to be pretty close. And the weight was great. What am I talking about? That's why they're out on the ice and I'm in here talking about it. So Horsman is sitting shots, and it's going to be very hard for Pomeroy to get rid of that yellow rock. And so now they're talking about what to do. I think they're looking to maybe draw on top of it. They could try and throw weight at it and get both of those rocks moving. But the danger is that the yellow could stick around. The yellow could hit the red. The red goes away, but the yellow stays. And then Horsman has a shot for 2.
Nightmare. Oh, yeah.
So the decision's made. I think they're just going to draw down on top of it. Maybe a little less ice. So I think maybe Ken wants to throw maybe just a little more weight than his first. So looking to sit right on top of that yellow. This is Ken Pomeroy's last here in the first. Looks like it's hanging out. There, it started to curl right there. It actually looks pretty good now. Going to kiss the yellow, push the yellow back onto the red. And so now Horsman's looking to see what they can do here. So I think they're looking at throwing weight at it. So if they throw the weight at it, they could get the red onto the yellow onto the red, get both of the reds moving, and have the yellow stick around.
Coaches can't be out there during LSD. Coaches, fifths, any other than the four.
So they're definitely, I think, looking to throw some heat at it. And I think, just based on where they have the broom, even if they nose the red, I think the shot yellow, the shooter is going to stick around. The rock that Daryl's about to throw is going to stick around, and probably going to stick around for shot. So it's probably a safe shot for Daryl to make this shot. Sweepers are on it. I wonder if they're worried it might over curl. Ooh. That was close, but it ends up to be a steal of one for Pomeroy. I think the situation was like the weight that he threw. But we'll see more in the ends to come as the 2024 Men's and Women's Club Playdowns continues, coming to you live from the Coyotes Curling Club. The 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns is presented by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is a website that tracks the performance of top curling teams from throughout the world, from the slams in Canada to the playoffs, the tour events in the United States. Each week, Ken Pomeroy updates the statistics and shares insights on what teams might be doing and how they might be performing. That's all on DoubleTakeout.com. Rocks in play. We are underway here in the second end, just after Ken Pomeroy stole a single point. This one's going to slip in the house. That's Brandon Mallett's first. And Daryl is opting to ignore it for now. Going to put up a corner guard, seeking to generate some offense. Or if you're from a different country, offense. They're just kind of cleaning the rock now as it goes down the ice. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty good corner guard. So it looks like Ken wants to put up another guard, or the first guard. This is coming from Brandon Mallett. He throws first rocks, but his device. He's been curling for 5 years. Some of his experience includes being a C event winner at the 2022 MoPac 25 and under event. His team was also the runner-up at the Hive Bonspiel. That's the curling tournament organized by the Oval Curling Club. So it looks like a center guard was put up. It is looks like it's on the line, maybe. I think it's on the line. We were playing the no-tick rule for this event. So that means for the first 5 rocks to the end, if a rock is on the center line, not touching the house, an opposing team cannot dislodge it from that center line. If they do disturb the stone, the original stone is reset and the offending stone is ushered from the premises. So they're looking to draw around. Oh, this hit something. It looks like it took a sideways turn there. Let's see the replay. Bending Stone is ushered from the premises. So they're looking to draw around. Oh, this hit something, it looks like. It took a sideways turn there.
She's got plenty of time.
It's unfortunate miss there. So, seeing the net stone coming from Trevor here.
Well, you know, that's what we teach at
So they drew around the guards. It's going to settle in the house. It's going to freeze. Not quite a freeze, perhaps, but really close to it. We have access to the overhead cameras in the warm room here, and it looks like there's about an inch or two separating the two rocks, the two reds in the house. And so it looks like Daryl wants Matthew to basically kind of start peeling some guards here. And here comes the boom. So it clears one of the guards, and the shooter will roll away. I think, it would be not unexpected for Team Horsman to expect more from that shot, but getting rid of the guard is a good outcome. So Trevor gets set in the hack. Trevor's been curling for about 3 years after starting in the fall of 2020. He has been enthusiastic about the sport since he joined the league, and now teaches Learn to Curl classes in order to share that passion and help the sport grow. So looking to put the guard back up. And it looks like Pomeroy is in a position to steal for a second end in a row. So Matthew Merkel, he's been curling for 5 years. Some of his accomplishments include being a champion at the 25 and under last year, playing second. He also was on the championship team for the 5 and under in 2022, playing as vice. And he was also a participant at the 2020 5 and under nationals, playing second. And it looks like the guard was cleared again. So is Pomeroy going to go back to the guard? It's almost like Buckingham Palace with the changing of the guard here. So broom's down for David Hurst. Looks like they're trying a slightly different line than we've seen so far, because the goal is to take out the yellow that's in the house. And mission accomplished. Yellow goes bye-bye. And there's a whole bunch of reds now, which lines things up for Skylar to take on. I would have a fun fact about Skylar, except for the fun fact is he didn't give us any. So you can make up your own fun facts. I won't do so, but he definitely knows how to deliver with a broom. And again, looking for some heat here coming from Skylar. And even if it hits the guard, that's not bad because it opens things up. And again, the guard's been peeled away. And the shooter rolls to the side and is taken out of play. And so now Pomeroy sitting 3, looking to put up another guard. Let's see if David Hurst can dial his weight back down. David Hurst playing third, has been curling for 2 years. Some of his accomplishments include being an event champion at the 2023 Rocky Mountain Bonspiel up in Ogden, Utah, throwing fourth rocks. He was also an event champion at the 2023 MoPac Arena National Playdowns, the first ever. And then that team also moved on to the Arena Nationals and finished in fourth. So David Hurst is one of the up-and-coming curlers. And the guard goes, if it was meant to be a guard, it went a little deep. And so now Daryl is basically just asking Skylar to, again, throw a missile at this.
That's right. But I definitely beat the ball for it. Everybody hit a rock. Pick a rock you want to catch here. Need 5 people up there.
And here we go. How many is it going to get moving?
613.
Yeah, I was going to say I got 6-2.
It gets 1 out of the play, 2 and 3 move to the further part of the rings, but there's still 3 reds in the house. Rods are kind of spread out, so I think Daryl's going to probably be chasing to try and at least get 1 out of this. But there's no blink in this situation. Well, I can say no, never say never, but I don't see a blink here. If Kevin Cooey were here, no. Kevin Cooey is a curler, for those that don't know. So it looks like Brandon Malik has the broom down, looking to put up a guard. Looking for about, again, 4 feet of curl or so. Sweepers are just escorting the rock down the sheet. Looks like it might be a little heavy and it might be over curling for what they're trying to do. Maybe look for a plan B here. It does bite the edge of the rings. It does kind of cover maybe about 10% of the shot stone. And so Horsman is kind of looking at their options. I think they want to just take out that shot stone, just based on where the broom is. I think they could be looking at a possible double. So looking for, again, another upweight shot coming from Daryl Horsman. I've seen him play. He definitely knows how to do upweight shots. I think he might enjoy them. Let's see if it's going to, I think it's on the top red. So it definitely moves one of the counters out of play. And the shooter rolls also out of play. Something happened.
Did you enjoy your adventure, Roger?
Just a short drive.
Your boys took care of business yesterday, so I asked them if they were just like.
So I think they're going to do a similar shot to what they just threw.
Jet lag. Like, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
We are broadcasting from the spacious warm room at the Coyotes Curling Club. So there is some cross chatter in the background. I hope just for your amusement and not bafflement. I think looking for a very similar shot. Don't want to be too deep. I think the line is probably the most important part here for Pomeroy.
All right.
And nobody's doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. We show, or we do the height.
This weight looks pretty similar to the first one. Also, the line also looks pretty similar to the first one from Pomeroy. It doesn't quite nibble the edge of the rings, but it does guard the shot stone. And Horsman, I think, is resigned to drawing to the button for a single shot. So looking to draw for one, Daryl Horsman with his stip stone here in the second. Needs to make sure it gets there. The weight is pretty close. Do they have the weight judged correctly? It looks like it's pretty. It looks like it's there. Right to the lid for one. Great draw by Daryl Horsman to bring things to a tie, to bring things level here after two. The score is 1-1. And we'll be right back when we come back. We'll be right back when we return to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. And we are back to our coverage of the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, coming to you live from the Coyotes Curling Club in Tempe, Arizona. As the third end gets underway on our feature sheet between Team Pomeroy of the Oval Curling Club and Team Horsman of the Coyotes, let's take a trip around the rings and see how the other games are going. All these scores are being posted live to bonspieler.com. It's spelled just the way it sounds, bonspieler.com or bonspilier.com. It looks like Horsman put up a guard there. On sheet A, we have Team Siggins from Coyotes taking on Team Cameron from Wine Country. Cameron stole 2 in the first, but Siggins responded with a 3 spot in the second to take a 3-2 lead in the third end. On sheet B, we have Team Peterson of Coyotes stealing 4 in the first end. Team Barajas from San Francisco Bay Area Curling responded with a force of 1 in the second. It's Peterson 4, Barajas 1. Sheet C, of course, is our feature sheet.
You go from 1 to 4.
All tied at 1.
You really moved up in the race.
And then on sheet D, the women's game, we have Team Aubrey from Coyotes. They scored a single point in the first with a hammer. And Grow also was forced to 1 in the second, and they're tied at 1 all in the third. And once again, all these scores are posted at bonspieler.com. Insert funny phrase about Bonspieler. It's going to be a long weekend. Hopefully a fun weekend. I hope everyone wants to do well. Everyone wants to win, but I think everyone also wants to have a little bit of fun too. This is Brandon's second shot.
you doing your?
What's it?
Oh, Christmas. Right. Okay, so you're right. No, you're right.
That yellow is on the center line, so they don't want to touch it, or they don't want to move it off the center line. And it doesn't move it off the center line. I think they wanted to draw around, so I might call that a miss.
He's just him sitting on the computer.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Curling stone off to the side.
Matthew's first shot's coming down the way here.
Like people wouldn't notice.
Easter egg.
It doesn't really look to oh, wait a
It's
second.
the Easter egg of the curling stone.
So they're trying to draw around the pile of guards. And this looks pretty close. It might be a smidge heavy. And only just a smidge. It goes to the back of the forefoot. So it gives Ken Pomeroy and his team an area to draw to if he chose. Or they're looking at blowing up the guards in front of the house. I think they're going to hit something. So it's going to get red on the yellow, on the yellow, on the yellow. That's a double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. It's a thing. That was a good shot by Trevor. So Matthew gets set for his next shot, looking to draw around again. I think the weight's pretty similar to Matthew's first. Daryl jumps on it to sweep it further back. And then Ken jumps to help out.
Because I was just random, I was like, it's a weird, I'm like, it's funny just to see where you randomly get views. And I was like,
so Horsman is sitting 1 right now.
yeah.
And Ken wants Trevor to draw around those guards. There's a bit of there's some backing with that last Yellowstone. David jumps on sweeping duties. Brandon helps out.
And it's so cheap over there.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously cheap.
And this looks like it got around the guards. Looks like a pretty good draw. Very solid by Trevor. So now I think Daryl is basically just going to follow that last shot down.
I don't know. They're obviously shot.
Barely skinny the guard.
Ashley's just going to blow up the guards again. This is Skyler's first. Skyler's thrown a lot of heat so far in the past 2 ends. Gets 1. I think that's all. So Pomeroy has the hammer, looking to score hopefully 2. Probably doesn't want to give up points. Ideally, like teams kind of enter an end or a round of the game with a goal in mind. Usually, if you have the hammer going last, you want to hopefully score 2 points or more. But sometimes you just don't want to give up a lot of points. So looking at the draw, I think they are hoping to be in front of the red that was put into the house. This looks to be a little heavy, though. So they might be looking to kiss the red and push it under the cover. Yeah, I think that's what they did.
This is his first shot.
So I think they're asking for some weight, but not the bomb that Skylar just threw. I think. So let's just go and make contact with. Oh no! So it went through in between the two reds and hit the yellow that was in the back of the house. So now Pomeroy is sitting 2. Horsman, I don't think is sitting any, although looking at the overhead, it's possible there could be one touching, but I don't think there is.
You need a higher.
It could be 2 biters.
Yeah.
Knock it in,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, someone in the warm room is kind of agreeing it might be touching the edge of the circle. So this is David's first, I believe. Or maybe that is his first. So looking to put up a guard. I was going to make a pirate joke, but I don't know. You could say guard, but is that really a pirate joke? I don't know.
Even if you don't, you just, you notice the one.
Apparently they put up papers with the times and I had no idea.
So Horsman is, I think, looking to maybe double on those reds in the house. At the very least, he'll hopefully get rid of at least one of the reds and have one of the yellows stick around. And Daryl, he's an up and comer in the curling world. He actually has a great deal of experience. He's been to the Pacific International Cup many times, as well as the International Tankard. And this rod's going to hit and roll, kiss the red shot stone, and roll under cover. That's a pretty solid shot there from Daryl. The Wonderkind, as the people call him. So this is could be tricky for Pomeroy, because my inclination may be to put a red kind of in the top outer edge of the circle, the 12-foot, as it were. But it could also give Horsman an angle to maybe double those 2 stones out. So you want to put the rock in a way that could protect the shot stone without creating the easy double opportunity. So the broom is down. I think they're going to draw. I think if they keep it high, that minimizes the double threat. So Ken Pomeroy, also known as a Wonderkind, he's been curling for 10 years. In addition to being the proprietor of DoubleTakeout.com, he was the 2016 Rocky Mountain Bonspiel champion. I believe that's the Ogden version of the Bonspiel. He was also the C event champion in 2022 at the Hive Bonspiel, and was also a B event runner-up at the 2022 Mile High Open in Denver.
Now there's not.
So this unfortunately was a miss from Pomeroy, because it wrecked on the guard, and I don't think it was a disaster, because you see from this head-on view, there's a lot of guards in front of that shot stuff. Although I think where they have the broom, I think Daryl is thinking about doing like a gentle takeout weight, just kind of push the red out past the 8-foot ring to score 1, maybe 2. So the line's going to be important. The weight's going to be important. He has to be dialed in. But that's why we call him Dialed In Daryl. Shots away. He gave a little bit of an ad there with his release. Trying to hold it straight. Now both sweepers are jumping in. I think it's going to be close.
I was semi-close. It's a half-inch open today. I was like, I shouldn't be able to hear.
Ooh, it just kisses it. So now Pomeroy has a shot for 2. It's a very narrow scoring area now because Daryl's last shot was in the back 4 foot. But it does give Ken a target to aim at. Yeah, a lot of these nicknames I'm making up, but Ken has a very common or very popular nickname that you might be aware of if you follow college basketball.
I don't know why I'm just sitting there.
And we might disclose more of that as the weekend progresses. So Pomeroy set in the hat, looking to draw for 2. He has 1 in hand, looking for 2 in that bush. Sweepers are just escorting it down the ice. I think it might need to curl a little bit. It's pretty close. It's really on target. So count that up. That looks like a 2 spot there for Team Pomeroy. That was a good draw. And they are going to take a 3-1 lead as we head into the 4th end in just a moment as we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. And we're back to our featured game here. Team Pomeroy from Oval Curling Club taking on Team Horsman from Coyotes Curling. Team Pomeroy got the first 2 spot in the game, the first multiple point score. They open up this end with a high guard. The only way it could be higher is if it went across the border to California and visited a dispensary. As we see the first shot coming from the lead for Horsman, that's Tyler Caldwell. He's been curling for 5 years. Looks like I think we're looking for a corner guard. Although it's going to slip into the rings. And it's going to give Pomeroy a chance to hit and roll under the red, as you can tell based on where he was putting his broom. Net shot coming from Brandon. Looking for a hit and roll. I think just at the very least getting rid of the yellow. Doesn't want to over curl. And it's not going to. It's going to roll, but it's going to roll a little too far, as it's going to be open on the right side. So the last hand was a lot of draws, and now it looks like we're back to the takeout game. Tyler, some of his experience includes the 2019 Beyond the Curling Dome Summer Bonspiel. He was on a championship team playing lead. He was also a participant at the 2020 Golden Wrench Classic, one of the premier competitive events run by Coyotes. And unfortunately, that takeout was too tight and misses the Red Rock. And so now Trevor is in the hack. And Trevor started a YouTube series to talk about his experiences and train newer curlers, as well as creating a curling stats app for the iWatch to benefit more experienced curlers. And this shot, I think they're looking for a center guard. I think tighter to the rings would be better. This is going to be a center guard, but it is not touching the line. And so now Daryl's changing the plan. We're not doing the takeout game anymore. He's asking Matthew to draw around those center guards. So coming up at the end of this end, we're going to take a halftime break. The halftime show is going to feature the equestrian drill team from Arizona State University doing a field show on the ice. It's going to be spectacular. You will not be able to see it, though, unfortunately. And that shot was a little heavy, unfortunately, goes out of play through the house. So Trevor's next shot's underway. I think they were looking to draw around those center guards and ends up crashing. Just like Dave Matthews Band. Just a small shout out. We just hit 200 subscribers on our channel, so thank you to lucky number 200. I would say there's a prize package, but the only reward is just having this great curling to watch all weekend. So again, I think trying to draw around. Trying to see the rotation of the rock. So it was a little upward. They're looking to hit the red and have the yellow stick around. Ken jumps on the yellow to try and to get it to go further back. Sends it to the back of the house. So Ken can try and get rid of the yellow, or he can try and shrink the target area by putting reds under the guards. But I think they're going to try and... He was looking for the takeout before, but now he's maybe considering the draw. And that is what has been dialed up for David Hurst. One of the fun things about David, like I curl with Team Pomeroy. I'm not on their team most of the time, but I see them at the club, as it were. David has been traveling to a lot of bonspiels in his first 2 years. It's very impressive about how he's willing to go out, visit different clubs to get competitive experience. And this shot, I think, might help showcase the benefits of going out for that experience, because that is almost exactly where Pomeroy put the broom for David.
What did you say? Hard. Hard up to your tip. Hard up to your tip.
So this is Skylar's first shot. I think they're looking to draw around those guards again. Oh, this needs to curl. It just kisses the red and then skirts its way
Staying away.
through the house.
I know, me too. Hey guys.
So it looks like Palmer is asking David to put up a guard now, just to block that path. And again, you want to be careful to not set up a double for Daryl to take on with his skip stones. And this looks like it might be a little high. You can tell it's high because I raised the pitch of my voice. So now Skylar's being asked to clear some guards here. So he's got one. Shooter's going to roll to the wings. So it does open up the center just ever so slightly. And I wonder if Pomeroy could be interested in putting another rock into the rings at this point. Or they could be just looking to close off paths to the house. Again, you don't want to create a double. And also, I guess you don't want to show Daryl the path to the button. So I would think about putting in a second shot. But if you try the shot and you miss, then Daryl could try a very similar shot and actually score. So I guess you kind of have to decide what you want to show your opponent. So I think they're going to try and draw a guard. Maybe biting the top 12. I think they want to bite the top 12. The outer edge of the ring. Sweepers are on it. I think definitely want to make sure it stays straight. But if it's going to curl into the guard, look for a plan B here. And I don't think it didn't have enough mustard on it. It does create another obstacle for Horsman to try and contend with. But there's definitely, I think, some options as Daryl kind of lines things up. And they also still have the draw to the 4-foot to score 1. So we were talking earlier about how if you have the hammer you want to try and score 2, you often don't want to give up multiple points. But you also want to have the opportunity to score 1 at the very least. Even if everything goes wrong, you want to be able to score at least 1. So the broom is down. I think they want to kiss the shot stone red in the house. So it's around the guards. Is it going to make contact with the red? It does make contact with the red. It's going to send the red through the house out of play. The shooter also rolls out of play, but mission accomplished by Daryl. Good shot there. So now Pomeroy is trying to find a place to put the stone where I think they're counting, and it would make it difficult for Horsman to get rid of that Pomeroy stone to score 2. But that just kind of really changed the tenor of the end. That was a great shot by Daryl Horsman.
If you can get to center line, pretty good.
Yeah, I guess you're okay. The center line top.
And if you're a little heavy, then you take it to that back there.
You're okay.
So you try to touch line to
Oh, that's right. He still has the.
So I think they might be trying to play on the yellow that's in the back of the house. And that does seem to be the plan there. So definitely outcount the yellow and make it hard to get rid of the red. And Pomeroy parks it on top of that yellow semi-shot stone. The only real option is really to draw for 1, and that is what Daryl Horsman has elected to do as he makes his way down the ice. So just based on how the game opened and based kind of how I've seen these teams play, I would have guessed this would have been more of a takeout game, but it's really turned into more of a draw and finesse game. I know people have been kind of champing at the bit to try and do more takeouts, but it's been more draws and guards and drawing to the rings. So this needs to sit down, and I think it's going to be really close. And it will sit down for 1 as it gets really close to the forfeit ring. So Horsman gets 1 back. It is currently 3-2 Pomeroy. And Ken will have the hammer when we come back after our halftime show. Now with the Equestrian Marching Band of Arizona State University. Unfortunately, due to copyright, we cannot show it, but it's going to be spectacular. We'll be back in just a moment.
You stop.
Time interview?
Oh, you want to talk?
Ask me some questions.
Okay, well, 1 second.
I hope you're not being too harsh on us,
No,
holding us to like Briar standards.
you guys scored multiple points. Okay. 1 second. All right. Okay, so we're going to welcome into the warm room now to skip with Team Pomeroy, Ken Pomeroy.
Hey Ryan.
Maybe kind of let us know kind of what you're seeing out there right now so far.
Ice is running really good.
Yeah.
It's speeding up, but really true lots of swing. I got caught with that. We're now for guys. just not giving them enough ice right now, but we'll get that cleaned up in the second half.
Yeah. How about the speed? I thought it may be a little slow to start.
It was slightly slower than we saw yesterday. Yeah, but it is picking up. Like, we're getting up to speed pretty good here.
Well, terrific.
14-5 or so to T-line, yeah.
And then what about the tenor of the game? Because I was kind of thinking that it could have been a takeout game. I know there were some takeouts off and on, but it really turned more into a touch finesse game.
Yeah, I mean the first end was really open, but we want to get rocks and play. We want to play aggressive, and we were able to kind of do that more successfully. The second, third, and fourth ends. I mean, Team Horsman is they're a really skilled team. You got to pay them a lot of respect, and so we got to be aggressive.
Well, terrific. And then, of course, this event is sponsored, presented by DoubleTakeout.com. That's your site. Just maybe kind of do the elevator pitch about why should people check out DoubleTakeout.com.
Well, I mean, it has the best world curling rankings around. If you want to know where a team is ranked, you want to know where your team is ranked, how good you are. DoubleTakeout.com has all of that information.
Well, terrific. Well, good luck in the second half. I'm sure we'll be here.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna leave my stuff here. Is that cool?
So that was our trip around the not a trip, just a chat with Kent Palmer. I really appreciate that. Let's take a quick trip around the rings to see how the other games are going in progress. Because I can do that.
Is he sending you more shit?
Again, all the scores are posted on bonspieler.com. All right, so most of the teams have had their break. I'm going to be a little jerky cam, I apologize. So sheet A features Team Siggins of Coyotes taking on Team Cameron of One Country. Through 4 ends, it's currently Siggins 6, Cameron 2. Sheet B here, as we see. As we see Team Peterson Coyotes take on Team Barajas of San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Peterson opened up with 4 spot, but it's been all Barajas since, taking a handful of ones in ends 2, 3, and 4. And that is Barajas, Team Barajas building their rocks as it goes on the ice. And then sheet C is our feature sheet as it's been about to get underway again for the third end. And then we're going to check out sheet D, the women's game in action for this end, or this game, this draw. It's a draw. On sheet D, we have Team Aubrey of Coyotes taking on Team Bro of Coyotes. It's a Coyotes cat fight, even though Coyotes aren't cats. That's how it worked out. It's been pretty solidly Aubrey through 4 ends as Aubrey is up 6-1 over Grow. All sheets in play now as we continue the draw. I'm going to slowly back my way to my editing station. State-of-the-art technology. Anyway. And we are now returning to our feature sheets where rocks are in play. We are underway here in the 5th end of a potential 8 ends. And if the score is tied after 8, we play a 9th end. So if the sound was a little sketchy during the halftime break, I apologize. It's something, I need to make sure I adjust when we do stuff like that. So, looks like Horsman is throwing around the center guard.
around Saturn are as big as school buses. Okay. I like the choice of Saturn.
And it looks like Horsman is sitting 1, but Pomeroy has a biter on the top 12-foot ring. It looks like the Pomeroy shot hit their rock. The red shooter, I believe, rolled to the wings. You also might be seeing some lag in the video feed. I apologize. These people in real life are not moving like silent movie stars of the 1920s. So Matthew's delivering his shot. I think, again, looking to just draw around the guards. And I think he's going to try and weld it on top of the yellow that's in the house. Or spill the yellow. So kind of spilled on the yellow and kind of rolled into the rings. And so now Horsman's sitting 2 and Pomeroy's chasing a little bit here. Trevor's first shot's away. This looks to be a little up weight. I think I'm going to make contact, but I think the shooter's going to roll wide. It does jam on the red that was already in the house, so a pretty positive outcome. And it looks like Daryl might be making a play on those rocks, those reds on that wing there. I think a potential double.
Need to be, yeah.
Gonna get 1, and that's all. Does put it in that second yellow back into the house. And I think Pomeroy is going to try a similar shot, but I think try to hit on the inside of the yellow this time. There is a possibility of that yellow jamming on the red, and I think that's something that they have to watch out for. This looks a little tight, and I think it might miss, unfortunately.
Bye, Lindsay. Bye, Aaron. I'll see you for again. Sounds good.
So now the options are pretty open for Daryl and Team Horsman. I wonder if they like. I know Daryl and several of his family members crow. I wonder if they ever go by the 4 Horsemen. I think looking to put up a center guard to help guard the shot stone. Pomeroy has a hammer, so Horsman wants to try and keep the scoring down, maybe steal. Okay, we're not a guard, but it does. it does go back to the shot stone and taps it back a little bit further. There's a possibility of getting both of those stones moving as Pomeroy gets the broom down for David Hurst. I think it's going to be close, but as they hit it on the right side, they could get both moving. It only just kisses it and just shifts that yellow under the cover of that guard. So now there's no double really on that line in that direction. I mean, there's a run back. As Skylar makes a shot. I think they're just looking to maybe come into the house. So put another rock into the, well, I say put a rock into the house, but it's a guard. Yeah, the way I approach these broadcasts is that we're in the warm room, and there's always kind of like a lot of talk about like what shot they could be taking, what the possibilities are, what could go right, what could go wrong. And that's sort of what I'm doing here. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And it looks like Pomeroy wants David Hurst to clear the guard and maybe get lucky. So it's definitely not the guard, but I think that's all. So now Team Horsman didn't waste a moment to try and put the broom down, to think about ways to close the door, cut off any possible draw paths to the house, or cut off the easy draw paths to the house to score at least 1 point. So Skylar was thinking about putting it on the edge of the rings and kind of cut off the easy draw path to the house, to the button. I guess the factor to watch out for is you don't want to go deep, and you don't want the rock to be like, you don't want the rock to over curl and crash on the red, perhaps. So looking for a guard or to be in the top part of the rings. Looks like it's going to slip into the house, but how deep is it going to go? It's going to go to the just the top of the 8 there. And so now it looks like Ken is thinking about just going to the button first, and so that way they get their 1 point. Although Pomeroy has 2 shots remaining, so they could still find a way to manufacture a deuce. When a skipper is able to score 2 points with their 2 stones, it's called a skipper's deuce, or a skip's deuce. So here's Ken Pomeroy's first here in the 5th end. looking to draw around the guards and the cluster in the front of the house. Looks a little tight. They're sweeping, I think, to try and hold the line, but I think it's going to be on the yellow. So unfortunately, just a bit tight there. So now Team Horsman, I think, is just going to continue to look to close that door, just like at the end of a neighborhood potluck.
I think they work somewhere else though. They're sponsored by someone not many. Oh, I thought they were sponsored by. No, I don't know who.
So again, just kind of closing that door. They're sitting 2 right now. Team Horsman is.
I asked.
And so Horsman's in a great position to either definitely force Pomeroy to 1 or maybe steal 1 or 2 points here. Again, this is a situation where they only want to be kind of touching the top part of the rings or a little high in the guard zone. So this looks to be a little heavy, and this could be an opportunity for Pomeroy. And I would count that as a slight miss from Horsman. He was kind of shaking his head as he slid down the ice. And so now all Pomeroy needs to do, it depends on how you want to approach the shot. Like some people feel comfortable drawing, other people feel comfortable throwing upweight to do a takeout. All they need to do is hit the yellow that's biting the 4-foot ring and stick around to score 1. So, after spending so many rocks to try and close the door, a window opened.
All that mess.
So this is Pomeroy going for the takeout. Facing 3. So again, the window is open, but definitely needs to make sure that they get through it. Throwing some up weights. Needs to make sure it doesn't over curl. It looks pretty close. Sweepers are holding the line. It's going to hit and roll slightly towards the 4-foot. So good takeout to get the 1. So just as I said, sometimes you want to try and score multiple points. Other times you're happy to just get 1. And that is what Pomeroy just accomplished here in the 5th end. We'll be back in just a moment when our coverage continues from the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. Welcome back to our coverage of the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, coming to you live from Tempe, Arizona. The weather's been great. I don't know how the locals feel, but I just came from 30, 40 degree weather. So to be here in Arizona, checking out this great game on the ice, it's been a lot of fun. I'm happy to be here. I hope the teams are too. We just saw Ken Pomeroy facing 3 yellow Team Horsman rocks, calmly throwing that takeout to take 1 in that end and to go for a 4-2 lead. So this looks to be going for a center guard here, but it might actually slip into the house. And that's what they were going for. Okay. I think the goal is to draw around the center guard. And it was a little wide. It didn't finish. So with the yellow in the house, the Pomeroy's trying to take out, but they want to make sure it doesn't hit the red guard. It just passed the guard. It skinnies the guard, hits the yellow, and the shooter rolls to the right side there. So Team Horsman is going to try that draw again. And Tyler Caldwell, his experience also includes being in the gold bracket, finishing in 3rd place as lead in the 2022 MoPac under 25. So it definitely got around the guard, but it's a little deep. It's good for second shot. And so Pomeroy could try and draw around the guard themselves. And that seems to be what they have dialed up. We have a full slate of games today, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want to stay with us tonight, at 5:30, we have a team featuring Team LeClaire taking on Team Meyer. And at 9 o'clock, we have Team Juilliard facing off against Team Walsh in the women's bracket. And that's coming up on our MoPac YouTube channel. And passenger pigeons, carrier pigeons. The ones that carry messages that aren't extinct. So the draw was a little wide. It doesn't get around the guard. And so now Matthew Merkel is going to try and just hit that red out. It looks like it's there. It's going to roll under cover. Actually rolls past the cover and is open on the right side. So Pomeroy could hit that out. He has to try the draw again. But the draw, I don't think, is a very good option at this point. Because Horsman could just hit the yellow back onto the red. So this is Trevor's shot. Looking to get the yellow and stick around. I don't know if the red is going to stick around. Ooh. They were just that close to getting the double. Looking to get the yellow and stick around. I don't know if the red is going to stick around. Ooh. It was miss it by a centimeter.
Let's line up. Let's there.
So now there's a pair of two reds that Horseman's trying to go after. Gets one and spills the other yellow to the wings.
You had the perfect angle.
So now Pomeroy is looking to hit the yellow and roll under the cover of the red guard. It looks like we have handshakes on sheet D as Team Aubrey has secured the win against Team Grow in the Coyotes catfight. And it looks like, again, the hit is going to be a double this time? Nope. The yellow jams on the other yellow. The red shooter rolls to the wing and his second shot. Horseman sitting one, and it looks like Daryl's asking Skylar to get rid of the red. Hopefully stick around and sit two. It's going to hit and roll. Oh, is it going to do the both? Nope.
That's one way for it to stay.
So it got the red, and the shooter rolled and jammed on the yellow that was in the house.
Something was messed up. He's lucky he jammed it and then my foot.
So it's David Hurst's turn. I think looking to draw here. There is some backing. I think they could be drawing around the red and sitting on the yellow in the back. But it needs to curl just a little bit more. It's not going to get there. They could have perhaps come at it the other way, although that's not where the play of this end has gone. And so now Skylar's, I think, going to try the same draw.
God, you think you're a lady in a ring? Say it like you mean it. You just took a shit on the ice.
So it looks like the draw is made. It's just going to go around the red. Nope. It doesn't get around the red.
Don't take that to the bank.
It was all there. I don't know. I like the way you guys call the game. But you were on the draw.
So now Pomeroy is looking at that right side of the sheet to try that draw. I haven't seen them throw down this path very much, so it will be interesting to see what happens and what they do. Again, looking to draw. There's some space in front of the yellow shot stone in the back 8 to sit shot under cover.
Doesn't matter if you're up or down. You got a shot. Other team's gonna, hit it. So you throw the dart. Then they hit it. Then they throw.
Again, I think looking for key weight here. Weight's going to be key.
And basically, when you get down to that, there was 4 rocks that they placed.
So much so I'm timing it.
You guys peeled it, and then they replaced it perfect.
Sweepers jump on it.
Comes down to
They want to make sure it doesn't curl into the red guard. It also looks to be maybe a smidge on the light side. I got 14.5 that time. So the ice is still maybe just a little on the slow side for this club. Again, ice speeds at club speed can vary and stuff. Like at my club, this would be awesome speed. For Coyotes, it might be a smidge on the slow side. So that was just overcurled there. And so I wonder if Ken's going to want to try that shot again with his last. So Daryl's going to try the draw, I believe. Or maybe just a guard because they are sitting 2 without the hammer. So I think looking to draw, looking to maybe guard. Oh, I think. No, Daryl has the hammer. And the guard is made. So Horsman's sitting 2 with the hammer. 1 rock to go. And so I think Pomeroy is going to try the draw, maybe raise the red. So I think Pomeroy wants to raise the red. I don't know how he's going to come at the stone. Or he might just be looking to maybe run the red back onto the yellow and get rid of at least one of the yellows. And I'd be content to give up maybe 1 or 2.
The problem is it's cutting so hard.
So Pomeroy's last is away here in the 6th then. So yeah, I think just looking to get rid of one of the yellow counters. And gets rid of, oh goodness gracious. So it does push the yellow back to the back of the house, but it stays in play. And right now, it looks like I would think Horsman might have 1, but then Pomeroy has the 2nd and 3rd shots. But there's a double possibility, and if Horsman makes the double and sticks around, it could be 3. There's also a potential jam where one of the reds can go back onto the yellow and not lead to them not scoring 3. So this is a key shot coming out from Daryl Horsman with a hammer in the 6th end. So sweepers, I think they're trying to push it over a little bit. Oh goodness, they got 1 red out, but then it only kisses the other red. And the red rolls in for shot, and so it leads to a steal of 1 for Team Pomeroy. And so Horsman's going to carry the hammer into the 7th of a potential 8 ends. The score is currently 5-2 in favor of Pomeroy. We'll be right back in just a moment to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, coming to you live from the Coyotes Curling Club. Welcome back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. So this has been a very interesting game. Looking at a team that plays primarily on dedicated ice with Team Horsman, with a team that plays on hockey ice, which is Team Pomeroy. We call it arena ice in the U.S., but if you call it arena ice in Canada, you get a totally different reaction. Because arena ice is what they call like the competitive ice they play championships on. It's been interesting to see how these teams' different experiences match up. And this has been a fun match to watch. I'm glad you guys have been with us. So Team Horsman puts up a corner guard, and it looks like Team Pomeroy is going to put up a center-ish guard to protect their red shot stone on the slight right side of the house. This might be over curling a little bit, but it's pretty good. It's got about half the rock open, and so I think Daryl's going to make a play on that. Or maybe not. They might be going around the corner guard they just put up. And that seems to be the case. Although they want to make sure that it's around the guard, which it does. And now Matthews sweeping to try and bury it, and mission accomplished. And what Pomeroy looks to do is just follow that stone down with a little bit more weight, calling for hack weight. And I think maybe looking for a little bit of roll if possible. So the weight looks to be up. It's going to get back. I don't think it's going to get back. And it doesn't. Just a missed opportunity there from Team Pomeroy. Let's take a quick trip around the rings as you check out bondspieler.com. Waiting for it to update as we see Matthew deliver his stone. And so now let's see if Matthew's hack weight takeout's on pace. Oh, it's not a takeout. It's a draw. It's going to put it kisses off of the yellow that was in the house. There would be a potential double there. I think Pomeroy just wants to get rid of at least one of the yellows. So on sheet A, Team Siggins has a 6-3 lead over Team Cameron. Sheet B, Team Peterson is up 6-4 over Team Barajas. And it looks like Trevor got one yellow out and nosed it, so the red shooter stuck around. I'd say there's a double there, but it's a pretty thin double, and there's a strong risk of the one of the reds jamming on the yellow. So I think Horsman would just be happy to get rid of one of the reds. Sheet C is our feature game. You're watching it. Team Pomeroy is up 5-2, and then Team Aubrey on sheet D prevailed 10-1 over Team Grow. So again, all those scores are being posted as they happen to bondspieler.com. So now, again, Horsman just wants to get rid of one of the yellows. It's gonna be, I think it's going to get rid of one of the yellows, one of the reds. And it rolls under the cover. So that was a pretty solid shot there from Matthew.
You guys, when it's like that, you guys already had it down. And that's what I told them.
And so now Ken is asking David Hurst to draw on top of that yellow that's in the full 8 foot on the left there. I think they want to sit right in front of it to be second shot. I don't think they want to be too heavy because they don't want to roll open. But this does have to be a little heavy and a little wide. It is sitting down though. So someone suggested going for the double perhaps. And Skylar's coming down the ice to check it out. And the double's there. So if they do make the double, then Tim Horsman would be sitting 3 yellows to Pomeroy's none, and then Pomeroy has to figure out what to do.
And even both teams, there was a handful on your stuff. It was like, that's not good.
Looks pretty good. It might be a little tight. And it is, unfortunately, I think it's going to wreck on the guard there. It does open it up, though, so it's not a bad outcome. But now, Pomeroy... What's Ken going to do here? I think they're looking at, they're thinking about maybe guarding, but then decided to try that draw again to sit in front of that yellow, or maybe guard. The tricky thing about the guard is if it's not made, that double is there again. So it really is important to, the line is of utmost importance to the shot. So sweepers are on it. I think it's going to be pretty close to what Pomeroy wanted. Let's see where it ended up. Okay, so it did over curl. And I think the double is there maybe from the other side. Or they could just hit and roll under the cover. So Horsman could basically hit the red that his broom is next to and then kind of just roll under the center guard. Skyler's coming down to check it out. Both teams have plenty of time. Horsman has 7.5 minutes to play and end in like 2 or 3 rocks. Pomeroy has 5.5 minutes to play and end in 2 rocks. And you kind of expect to play and end within 3 to 3.5 minutes. So plenty of time for both teams. They've been playing fairly speedily. So the question now is, what does Horsman do to try and get rid of those reds and score multiple points here to get back into this game? Skyler's making his way back down the ice, so I think they've come close to a decision. And I think they're going to nose hit the red that's on the right side of the house, just kind of based on where Darryl was putting his broom. A key shot coming now from Skylar. Matthews started sweeping, and now the other sweeper's on it. This looks to be maybe a smidge wide. Oh, it's really close, though. And on the money. Good shot there from Skylar. So, Team Pomeroy's played a pretty solid end, but there is a lot of yellow in the house and one lonely red Pomeroy rock.
Sean overslept him. They're joking about it now.
So now Pomeroy's looking at what to do here. I think they're looking to maybe hit and roll under the center guard. And also if it rolls into the pile of yellows, it's not a bad outcome. So they got the broom down. I think they're going for a hit and roll, or at least getting rid of that yellow. The worst possible outcome is running the yellow onto the red and jamming and getting rid of the red. So this is another tricky shot for Pomeroy. I think there's a lot of good outcomes, but there's a couple bad outcomes too. Let's see if it's on the money. It looks maybe a little wide. I think they're... Ooh. Oh no! Unfortunately, the worst has come to pass. The red jammed onto the yellow. The red is gone. The red stuck around. Horsman is now sitting 3. And just as we talked about how when a door closes, a window opens, the window closed, now the door is pretty wide open here. A positive aspect for Pomeroy is that there's still a couple paths to prevent Horsman from getting multiple points here. But this is a golden opportunity for Team Horsman.
He's sitting 6, but he hit and rolled out on his first one, or this would be an open draw for him.
Daryl, get back in the game.
But that was Sean's fault.
So looking to draw, I think just sit on the top of the house or a tight guard just to prevent that draw path. I guess they could also draw and freeze on top of the stone that's on the button.
It's 5-2. 5-2. Yes, it's hard.
And I think that's what they're doing.
And all of these people are tall. Yeah. Like Skylar's standing in front of me. I have no shot.
And yes, Horsman's sitting 4. However, it does give Pomeroy a chance to draw and sit on top of those Horsman stones to cut Horsman down to 2. And we'll see what Horsman can do with his last. Daryl Horsman does have the hammer here in this end. And he's holding a pretty high hand right now. That's a poker term, right? I don't know poker. But facing 4, hoping to avoid giving up a huge crooked number. Ken Pomeroy looks to draw into the house onto the lid. Shots away. Sweepers are just staying with it right now. Needs to come back. There it goes. It's starting to curl now. Now it needs to sit down. It doesn't want. You don't want it to roll wide. Okay, so it did knock the yellow shot stone back, and now red is shot on the button. That was a really good draw. So things got really loud in here because apparently one of the teams had a chance to score almost like an 8-ender, perhaps, just based on what they're saying in the warm room. But one of the shots didn't go the way as planned, or as or I think they were saying they followed the call, but the call was not good to get 8 points. So Daryl Horsman's in the hat, I think, looking to knock out the red. If one of the yellows goes away, that's not too bad because the outcome would be a score of 4.
Oh, thank you.
It needs to get past the guard. So let's pass the guard. Now, what's it going to do when it gets into the house? Okay, so it moved the red off the button. And it looks like yellow got 1, but who has 2?
2 yellow. Oh, you looked at already.
So they're keeping the rot, so I think they agree it's 2 yellow. All right, so that was a good end for Daryl Horsman. Narrows it to a 5-4 game as we head into the pivotal final end of regulation. And we'll be back to this exciting conclusion when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, coming to you live from Coyotes Curling Club. Welcome back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. It's been a heck of a game. And that was the first multiple point score from Team Horsman. Let's go around the rings as one of the as another game has left the ice. As I reload bondspieler.com. All of the scores are being posted as they happen to bondspieler.com. So Sheet A, Team Sidians prevailed 13-3 over Team Cameron from Wine Country. And so apparently Sidians did have a chance for 8 at some point, or the ability to be in a position to score 8. But as it was, they scored 7. Which is really, really solid. Sheet B is still in action as they are also in the 8th end. Team Peterson Coyotes is up 6-5 over Team Barajas of San Francisco Bay Area. But Barajas has been hanging in there with scoring a bunch of singles to bring the score to 6-5. Sheet C is our feature sheet. Ken Pomeroy is up 5-4 over Team Horsman. And then Sheet D was our women's game of this draw, and Team Aubrey prevailed 10-1 over Team Grow. So now Team Horsman needs to try and steal at least a 1, force the extra end. And of course, Pomeroy, they're up 1. They want to minimize the chance of either team really scoring more than 1 point. Because if Horsman scores 1, it's not the end of the world. There's an extra end, and Pomeroy would have a hammer in the extra end. If Pomeroy scores 1, it's game over because they're already leading.
That was a beautiful guard and changed it.
So Horsman put up a guard and Pomeroy drew around it. So it looks like Horsman is going to try and put up a center guard. All right, so both teams are now a little tighter on time. Horsman has just under 4 minutes remaining. Still should be plenty of time. I also don't think the teams are taking their time out during this game. This looks like it might slip into the rings. It does, but it settles on top of the red. And so now Pomeroy is calling for Trevor to throw the peel. Looks like a peel, mission accomplished there. And the shooter also rolls out of play, so trying to keep an open sheets, an open house, so again, minimizing the chances of either team scoring multiple points. So it looks like Matthew Merkel's being asked to draw around those two rocks in the house. Perhaps settle in the back 4-foot area. Or put up a guard. Just kind of based on where Daryl's positioned. Daryl's positioned as if he's expecting the rock to be a guard. And a guard it is. And so it looks like Palmer's going to try the peel again. Coming at it from the other side. And let's see if Trevor has two peels in him. So it looks a little tight. Want to make sure, at least I think it makes contact, gets rid of the rock. It does, and the shooter also rolls out of play. So that shot was appealing, which is wordplay. And so it looks like Daryl's going to try and put up that guard again, based on where he has the broom for Skyler, his third. Again, looking for a guard tight to the house. Could be also setting up a situation where he wants to put up a guard that it would be hard for Pomeroy to get rid of without causing some trouble. And that is a medium guard in the 2 zone. And Pomeroy just wants to get rid of it. And who could blame him? So again, looks like the line's pretty good. Maybe a little tight. But again, the peel is made and the rocks go out of play. So one of the cards that Horsman has in his hand is that he could tap the yellow onto the red to get rid of the red. But at the same time, then there's nothing to prevent Pomeroy from hitting that yellow out of play. So this is Skyler's last year. So it looks like another guard was put up. And I think now Pomeroy's called his timeout with 2.5 minutes remaining, 2 minutes 37 seconds. As the teams make their way down the ice, they're signaling timeout. Let's see if we can maybe listen into what they're talking about. Okay, can't quite hear what they're saying. But I thought it was worth a shot. Decisions made. Now let's see what they've decided to do. This is David Hurst's last stone, and then Pomeroy has his 2 skip stones with the hammer coming home, and they've elected to peel the guard, which is not a bad call. And Hurst's last shot of the game is away, of regulation at least. Oh no! Oh no! It misses both, unfortunately. And so now Horsman has the opportunity. The window is open again. This might be the opportunity to run the yellow onto the red. So Horsman has the shot in mind. They're actually electing to draw around the guard. And again, Horsman needs 1 to tie, 2 to win without the hammer. This is an important shot. These are important shots coming now at the very end of the game. Looking to draw around. And if Horsman makes this draw, what does Pomeroy do to respond? So sweepers were on it briefly. Now they're back on it. I think they want to make sure just in the house to sit shots. Oh man, look at Skylar go. That was a great sweep there. And a great weight call. And so now, looks like Pomeroy is going to pick out that yellow stone. As Brendan Malik has the broom down for his skip. Looking for a gentle weight takeout. Needs to make sure it makes contact and hopefully have the red stick around. So the yellow is gone. The red shooter sticks around. And so now it looks like Horsman's going to look to hit and maybe roll under the center guard. And there's some cover there. Or they're going to drop. And they're looking to draw. So this is Horsman's last. They need to be sitting shot after this. Right now, Team Pomeroy is sitting 2. This is a key shot. Horsman needs to be shot at the end of this. And the shot's away. Sweepers are just cleaning, it looks like. Now they're digging in. This looks pretty good, actually. Needs to be shot. Oh, it's shorts. Oh my goodness, so it's handshakes as Team Pomeroy will score 1 and secure the win. So very hard fought battle by both teams. And it's Team Pomeroy that comes out with the win. So you'll see these teams again. Maybe not on the stream, or we'll maybe cut to them. Horsman's next game is 9 a.m. tomorrow against Team LeClaire. And Pomeroy's next game is at 4:30 Friday against Team Meyer. So a very tough, that was a hard-fought game. A very solid outcome. And let's go check out the last game that's happening on sheet D, or sheet B. So if you'll bear with me just a moment. So this is the last rocks coming for sheet B, the sheet B game. We have Team Barajas playing the Yellowstones, taking on the other team. Very key shot coming here. Yellow on the red, on the yellow. Oh, look at this! So that was very close. Wow. What's who's Team Red? Yeah, Peterson, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Campbell's the skip.
Okay. Yeah, we're going off what's entered into Boss Wheeler. So Peterson. Yeah.
Peterson.
Okay.
Peterson. Yeah, because I timed for them last night. Ryan, you might get a
All right, so Barajas is sitting 2, enough for the win.
We're saying the shot before
So how is Team Peterson going to respond to that last shot there? So it looks like I think they're going to try and draw the port. Goodness. His shot's away. close. There's a little bit of backing. It's through the court. It needs to sit down. Is it going to sit down? It's not going to sit down. Oh, goodness. And that's handshakes as Team Barajas secures the comeback and the win against Team Peterson. That was a very close game. Wow, goodness. Oh, wow. All right. Well, as you see the warm room here, we're going to wrap things up for this game. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, you didn't see it because I didn't switch to the feed. All right, that's fun.
I hope they're able to get something for your dad at least.
All right, next time. But thank you so much for tuning in to this contest. Once again, the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns is brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. They are a presenting sponsor. We definitely appreciate them, and we definitely appreciate you tuning into the broadcast, and hopefully we'll see you later tonight. Our next game is going to be at 5:30 as Team LeClaire takes on Team Meyer on Sheet C. So for all of us here at Coyotes Curling Club in MoPac and DoubleTakeout.com, this has been your host Ryan saying thank you, good curling, and we'll see you at 5:30.
Yeah.